First Lady Melania Trump brought some Christmas cheer to sick children at the Children's National Hospital in Washington, D.C. On Thursday, she read Oliver the Ornament to about 24 children who are spending their holiday in the hospital. Dressed in a festive red and white coat over a white dress with her signature stiletto shoes and a red and white striped candy cane pattern, the First Lady shook hands and posed for photos, squatting down to talk to the 24 children who gathered to hear the story. Her visit continues a tradition of 60 years, in which every First Lady since Bess Truman visited the hospital. Children's National live streamed the book reading to every room in the hospital so those who couldn't attend could still see and hear the First Lady. Before she read to the kids, Melania Trump stopped in the hospital's neonatal unit to visit 3 families whose children had graduated the program. 4-year-old Grayson Hogsett, who was born at 24 weeks, was shy and hid behind the First Lady. She turned to pat him on the back while he hid in a chair. The First Lady made small talk with the kids, asking them what they want for Christmas. "How you feeling? Do you have any wishes for Santa? What do you ask him?" she inquired. 7-year-old Abigail said she wanted a dog. The First Lady asked if Abigail had a name in mind. "Peppermint," Abigail responded. The First Lady then listened to Nikki Watkinson's story of her early delivery during a snowstorm in her husband's truck. Baby Grayson was delivered at 24 weeks and is now 16 months. "Our miracle baby," Nikki said. "You have an incredible story to tell," the First Lady said. After her visit with the families, the First Lady arrived to read to the children. She came into a standing ovation and holding hands with Nathan Sim and Tiriana Cook-Starkey, who are patients at the hospital. "It's nice to be here and I have a book here to read to you," she told the kids. She sat before a large decorated Christmas tree. Copies of Oliver the Ornament were stacked in wagons on either side. Nathan and Tiriana sat on either side of her as she read. At the ends of the row of seats, sat Santa Claus at one end and Todd Zimmerman, author of Oliver the Ornament, at the other. About 24 children who are currently patients at the hospital listened to the story. The kids ranged in ages from toddlers to preteen. Some sat on the floor. Others were in wheelchairs with IVs attached. Every child and audience will get a copy of Oliver the Ornament. Oliver the Ornament is a heartwarming tale of one family's cherished Christmas ornaments, according to a summary on Zimmerman's website. Oliver was also bullied by the other ornaments, as revealed by the First Lady in her reading. Anti-bullying is part of Flotus Be Best campaign. "Wishing you a Merry Christmas and a Happy Healthy New Year," the First Lady told the children at the end of the reading. Zimmerman thanked the First Lady for reading his book and congratulated her on her Be Best campaign. The First Lady signed the book she read, which will stay at the hospital. Santa and the kids gave her a bouquet of red and white flowers after the reading. Defiant First Lady slams media opportunists who use the Trump name to advance themselves, gushes about her chemistry with Donald, but refuses to be drawn on a second term for her husband. Melania Trump brushed off criticism from the public and the media and said she always strives to do what she believes to be the right thing in an interview with Fox News host Sean Hannity on Wednesday night. The First Lady sat down with the primetime Fox News host aboard the USS George H.W. Bush after a day of visiting with troops at Joint Base Langley in Hampton, Virginia. The cordial interview covered a number of different topics from Melania's impression of the massive boat named for H.W., who was laid to rest last week, to how she deals with criticism of her husband and her family. While most of her answers were confident and composed, Melania pulled back when asked about her husband pursuing a second term in the Oval Office. Instead of the simple yes that would have been expected, she responded, "I think my husband is doing an incredible job," and said, "I want the country to continue to do well." Hannity steered clear of more hard-hitting topics that have dominated the news cycle, the most notable being the sentencing of President Trump's former personal lawyer Michael Cohen earlier in the day. Speaking to the court before being sentenced to 3 years in prison, Cohen denounced the president and said, "I felt it was my duty to cover up his dirty deeds," referencing payments to porn star Stormy Daniels. The First Lady also spoke about the daily difficulties she has encountered in the White House during the Hannity interview, which was previewed by FoxNews.com earlier on Wednesday. Melania said the hardest part of her role was dealing with opportunists using my name or my family name to advance themselves. She identified those opportunists as comedians, journalists, performers and book writers. Hannity followed up by asking her, "Does it hurt?" Melania defiantly replied, "It doesn't hurt. The problem is they're writing history and it's not correct." She said she wishes the media would focus on the substance and not the gossip. Hannity also mentioned how Melania has made an effort to step out of her husband's shadow in recent months by amping up her Be Best bullying campaign and going on a solo trip to 4 African countries. When he asked her to explain her frequent use of the phrase "stay true to myself," she replied, "I do what I think is right. I know I will get the criticism, from the public or from the media, but I will do what is right and what I feel is right for the country and for the people. That's why I say I want to stay true to myself and listen to myself and what to do and what is right, what is wrong and live a meaningful life every day." Melania said of her path to where she is now, "It's incredible, especially when you think about your life and where you were born, and all the steps you took. It's not like you just end up here, you learn a lot on the way here. In my business, and fashion business, it's a tough business as well. Here, the politics, it's a tough business. You need to have very thick skin." Hannity asked several questions about Melania's relationship with Donald as she described the pair's instant chemistry when they met in 1998. She also spoke about how she knew he would win the 2016 presidential race, saying, "I saw how he connects with the people and that's why I said, I know if you run, you will win." Melania said that she does her best to keep up with the news despite her busy schedule. "I follow what's going on, and I give my husband advice and my honest opinion. Sometimes he listens and sometimes he doesn't," she said. "I don't agree with his tone sometimes and I tell him that." When questioned about what she wishes the media would portray about her husband, Melania replied, that he is fighting for the American people every day. He wants to guide them the right way and it's tough because sometimes the media wants to bash and focus on negativity. Speaking about her recent visits with the troops, Melania said, "It's very important that we support them. Holidays are coming and not many of them will be with their families, so for me, it's very important to show them that the President and I and the country, we are behind them." She called the USS George H.W. Bush incredible and praised the 3,000 military members currently on board the massive carrier that's as long as the Empire State Building is tall. Melania noted that as she greeted the troops upon arrival they thanked her for what I do for them. "They see what I am doing and that I'm here for them and to support them," she said. The second half of Melania's interview with Hannity is set to air on Fox News tomorrow night. Please like, comment, and subscribe to channel. Thank you for watching my video.